Welcome to Zephyr Yoga Inspiration. I offer these podcasts for free, and your support really does make a difference and is appreciated. To make a donation, please click the link in the episode description or visit zephyryoga.com. So welcome to this practice. As you guys know, we are on our little adventure down the 8th limb path. According to the Yoga Sutra, Patanjali laid out how to practice, working with the first limb, which is yamas, second limb niyamas, third limb is asana, our posture, fourth limb is pranayama, which is our breathing techniques and exercises, pratyahara. We turn our senses inwards. Last session we worked with Dharana, which is one pointed awareness, and we are on the 7th limb, which is Dhyana, meditation. And meditation is a tool to use the mind to go beyond the mind. So meditation is this clarity of mind that you abide in the timelessness of now, the present moment, the here and now, this moment. It's an uninterrupted flow of consciousness towards an object. And this is, the goal of practicing yoga, according to the Yoga Sutras, Sutra 1.2, the second sutra, Citta Vritti Nirodha, stilling the roaming tendencies of the mind. And this is the lead up to practice, to go beyond the mind. In that stillness, you experience the state of yoga, the attainment of yoga. So the point is to focus on a point to begin with, to learn how to meditate. So this is why Dharana is a required prerequisite, that focused attention, that one pointed focus awareness on something at first. So we're training, as we said in the last session, to train our mind puppy to sit and stay instead of chasing its tail in a rajasic way, ruminating around something, or in a tamasic way, falling asleep and not waking up. We're trying to actually use certain commands to train our mind puppy to sit and stay, to roll over, to lie down, to paw, that way of which we start to train our mind puppy. And in the Yoga Sutras, just to recap, those instructions that we're trying to train the mind puppy to focus on is Sutra 134, breath awareness, specifically the exhale pattern and the pause after exhale pattern. The next sutra, which is focusing on sensation. The next sutra it suggests to focus on is light. Light that heals, inspires, transforms, but ultimately frees you from what is causing you pain and suffering on the level of physical, energetic, and mental ways in which we perceive. Then we stabilize the mind by focusing on a deity, a virtuous person, but specifically in this practice, a mantra. So we're going to use so hum again. And the meaning of that mantra, I am that consciousness that is perceiving thought, movement, sensation, but you're not your sensation, you're not your movement, you're not your thoughts, but you are consciousness perceiving it through your eyes, through your experience. So the next phase of meditation, once we kind of train our mind puppy to sit and stay and focus on something for some time, is to actually draw your attention and subtly shift it away from the object towards the flow of your own awareness. So it's that ability to rest in pure perception, your consciousness that is in the here and now, the wakefulness, the awarefulness, or as like Buddhists like to say, mindfulness. So this becomes the highest form of meditation, is that stilling the fluctuations of those attributes described as rajasa guna, that overstimulated, overactive, obsessive way the mind puppy chases its tail, or that tamasic guna, that where the mind puppy just is sleepy, disassociated, or depressed. The highest form of meditation is to still these fluctuations and bring the mind to a state of absorption. And in absorption, the mind is sattvic, which is serene, clear calm in which we can recognize the difference between our inner knowing called buddhi, our intuitive knowing, and our pure self, or true nature, prakriti. This is called Dharma Mega Dhyana, the highest wisdom as you meditate. And this deepening of your meditation in this way evolves as you rest your attention on an object of the self. Who are you when you're not trying to be somebody? What is that? Where is that? And as we start to, attain the self by merging into that flow of light of awareness that illuminates your true nature as the self, we start to awaken to what is lighting that true nature is said to be Purusha, pure consciousness. So there's levels in which we start to dissolve the ego, dissolve our association that this is me, mine, and I, and we start to become a part of it. That meditation is stepping into and merging with that flow of light of the self that can be expressed as a pulsation called spanda, a vibration called paraksha, and then an I amness, vimarsha. So this is the physical expression of pure consciousness that we can actually detect through sensation, through our sense organs, and through language, is that when we get quiet enough in our meditation, we can actually sense pure consciousness as this pulse, a vibration, and this presence, I amness. So how to do this is really to sharpen your viveka, your keen discernment, and your buddhi, your intuitive knowing, your inner guide, your inner teacher that is kind of perceiving and guiding your eyes to notice your mind puppy, to sit and stay. And it is abhyasa, which is a focused, diligent practice. That as soon as your mind puppy tries to wander off and go and play with the ball across the room, you go, oh, mind puppy, come, sit, stay. And so it's a focused, diligent practice. You are determined to stay in practice, and you keep on repeating the mind puppy, come, sit and stay, sit and stay. And what you are practicing is vairagya, letting go of sensory observation. Whatever drew that mind puppy to play with the ball, that wandering thought, like I need to go and answer that email, or what am I going to have as brunch after this practice? The mind puppy, it will wander and to try to kind of go chase its tail, to gnaw on a bone, to go play hide and seek or go poop in the corner. And all of a sudden you're just like that keen discernment to actually see that mind puppy and go return back to practice, abhyasa. And let go and detach from whatever drew that mind puppy to that object. So it's that practice of lovingly letting go, detaching with love from whatever sensory observation that comes up. So you don't add to the commentary, add to the storytelling, add to whatever draws your attention out of practice. So that is what the sutras were pointing us to. And what we are doing in this practice is practicing backbending. Now you might have some opinions about that as I state that and some feelings. So notice how I have been sequencing in this way over the past few sessions, leading us to practice so we feel very strong in our backbending, that we feel stable and comfortable into skillfully practicing as we rest our mind, dharana, our focused attention, on our breath, sensation, light, mantra. And in that, we can then start to progress, not only physically progress into doing more challenging poses, but progress into the more advanced stages of yoga. Remembering that advanced stages of yoga are not backdrops or handstands. Advanced stages of yoga is dharana, focus of concentration, dhyana, meditation, and samadhi. Those are advanced yoga. So The vinyasa krama that we're doing is a special or an intelligent arrangement to progress in steps. So you'll notice we'll start off with simpler back bends and simpler ways in which we can train our mind puppy to sit and stay and practice letting go of what's distracting it. And then as we get further into our physical practice, you will be challenged more, but progressing in steps to actually try to still implement said practice when you are facing very strong intensity, whether it's physical, energetic, or mental. So hopefully your mind will have the time to do the same in that uninterrupted flow of consciousness towards, what the mind is paying attention to. And ultimately why we're practicing is to create kaya nirodha, physical stillness, prana nirodha, energetic stillness, and Citta Vritti Nirodha, mental stillness, in the way in which we can just abide in the timelessness of now. In this moment, now yoga begins. That's the first word in the Yoga Sutras, and that's the first statement in the sutra. So once the mind becomes still, and you are fully absorbed samadhi, yoga is this experience of going beyond the mind. And we find words that, it can't really describe it. So we find it really hard to kind of point ourselves to that. But yeah, we express it as that pulsation. The last little thing I'm going to say is that you're going to find obstacles along this path. This is in Sutra 130, and this is not new. This was written at least 2,000 years ago, if not more. But these 9 obstacles we can all relate to. When we are like, I am practicing, I'm such a good yogi, my mind puppy is so trained, it poops outside, it doesn't poop inside anymore. These are the 9 obstacles. First obstacle we're going to face is dullness. That we have an inability to put our thoughts into action. It's just bleh. That leads into the second obstacle is we experience apathy, this depression, this laziness or heaviness, and we're just like, I don't want to practice. The third thing is self-doubt. There's a skepticism, like, what's the point? Or I can't do this. The fourth thing is discontentment. When we feel discontented and uneasiness, a dis-ease, it's really hard to practice. The next one is carelessness, that we neglect ourselves and we're just careless with our energy, our time, and we just, can't seem to create this space to care for ourselves. The next one, the sixth one, is procrastination. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll really practice the next time we practice. I'm not going to practice really in this one because I got too much on my mind. So I'll do it tomorrow when I practice with you, Zeph. The seventh one is led and controlled by your senses. This is why you don't practice with your phone next to you, because your sense organs are so conditioned to look at your notifications on your phone, and that it's hard to actually train the mind puppy to go in and practice this way. The next one, the eighth, is instability. It's really hard to practice this methodology when you feel unstable in your body, you have an injury, you feel unstable in your energy body, you didn't sleep very well, whether it's in your life, your relationships, your work, your finances, it's really hard to practice. And the last one, do you remember the other 8 that I just gave you? Because the last one is our lack of concentration. We just have an inability to concentrate and retain any information. So these are the 9 obstacles that we're going to face. And when these obstacles are present, we'll notice in Sutra 131 that there's negative thinking present. There's emotional distress. There's instability felt in your body and disturbances in the breath that mirror the disturbances in the mind. So the Sutra 129 says, okay, the solution is to turn inwards. Focus on one thing at a time, cultivating loving awareness, friendliness, joy, and compassion towards your little mind puppy, because its nature is to think. And so be kind to it as you turn its focus back onto your breath, sensation, light, your mantra, and sit and stay, opening to this experience of yoga, leading you to go beyond the mind and open to the state of yoga. So words are limiting us in our understanding, these language, the concepts, etc. However, it describes really to go beyond the mind into the experience of the state of yoga is true liberation, freedom, wholeness, oneness, completeness, this absorption of pure light of consciousness. That is what we're looking for. If you would like to continue to practice, find out more information about the topics discussed, or to donate to this podcast, please visit zephyryoga.com or follow the link in the episode description. I thank you.